Since 1996, Nintendo has shown us time and time again how well Mario works in a 3D environment, with each game raising the bar that the last one set and giving the player new worlds, power-ups, and gameplay mechanics that were never seen before in the world of gaming. That was probably the most generic, cookie-cutter thing I've ever said. Mario 64 paved the way for the 3D platform genre. Sunshine introduced FLUDD, giving Mario a whole new layer of movement and adding an extra level of depth to the game that allowed for more creativity in the levels. Galaxy 1 and 2 brought Mario to the great beyond, allowing Mario to run all around planets, which allowed more expansive and unique levels for the player to explore. 3D Land was the first original 3D Mario game for a handheld system, and it was designed to be perfect for on-the-go sessions, with short and sweet levels for the player to quickly run through and enjoy. And then there's Super Mario 3D World. In my opinion, the worst, or for a more positive wording, least best 3D Mario game in the franchise. Let's dive right in. Firstly, this game is just weird. Allow me to clarify. Instead of 3D World being its own thing, or maybe taking advantage of that fancy new gamepad that Nintendo was oh so excited about, it was instead a sequel to the 3DS game that plays like a 2D Mario game, just in a 3D space. So you get this weird hybrid where it is 3D, but you can only move in 8 directions, and the levels play out like a 2D game where you essentially just go from point A to point B with very little exploration. And you may argue, well, yeah, but so is 3D Land. But 3D Land was made on a handheld system that lacked the power of its console counterparts, and therefore couldn't make these sprawling, expansive levels like Galaxy or Sunshine. 3D Land was also made to be great for on-the-go, pick-up and put-down sessions, so these point A to point B levels complemented the hardware it was made for very well. But the Wii U is a home console that is capable of running games like Breath of the Wild, Pikmin 3, so when they took 3D Land's style of levels and put them on the Wii U, it just doesn't work to the same degree as 3D Land, because we know that the Wii U is capable of much more. The linear and straightforward structure of the levels also make them very drab and boring, and restricts the gameplay so much. Instead of the levels feeling like these large expansive worlds, like in previous Mario games, they're just these generic grass, desert, snow, lava areas with barely any substance, compared to what Nintendo has shown they are capable of doing, and they all just float in purgatory, giving off a very empty and lifeless vibe to them. Another issue is the overall lack of fun new features. I mean, there are some, like the new power-ups and bosses, but those are all a given when it comes to Mario games. One of the biggest selling points of this game is that you can have up to 4-player couch co-op for the first time in a 3D Mario game, and it is not that good. There's a reason why previous 3D Marios haven't done this. Because like 2D inspired levels in a 3D space, it doesn't really work. I mean, it's mindless fun, but that's all it really is, and it's not even done that well. Each player shares one screen, so if everyone decides to spread out or go off and do their own thing, the camera has to accommodate, and it can get a little difficult to keep track of what's happening. At the end of each level, each player is given a score. Highest score wins and gets a crown, which encourages playing competitively, and if you're a competitive player, that's fine, but if you just want to get to the end of the level, it can get really irritating if the other players are trying to mess with each other in hopes of lowering their scores and getting the crown. Multiplayer in this game feels like it was just designed to work, but nothing more than that. And if that's what they were going for, then mission accomplished, I guess. My final issue is the fact that this game should not have come out on the Wii U, or not come out in general. The Wii U was failing hard in the sales department, the hardware department, the game department, and the advertising department. Compared to the other consoles that were coming out alongside the Wii U, the Xbox One and PS4, Wii U lost to both of them in all of these things. It wasn't as powerful as the two. Once third-party companies realized the trouble they would be in if they put their games out on the Wii U, they all jumped ship, and the ones that stayed released games that were already out on previous generations of consoles, like Need for Speed Most Wanted. The first-party support wasn't too good either. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but there weren't really any system sellers, games that would make you want to buy the console solely for it. Mario Kart 8 is the closest example before 3D World, but even that didn't help too much. Most people who bought the console for it were probably going to buy it anyway, and were just waiting for more games. The advertising didn't help the console or this game either. Practically every single advertisement for this console was directed towards families and casual gamers, which gave off the impression that this console was going to be solely for these groups of people, which turned off a large group of hardcore fans. All these factors hurt 3D World more than you might think. What are some games that Nintendo fans get most excited for? 3D Marios. So imagine the disappointment that people went through when they heard that the next 3D Mario, the game that could have saved the Wii U, was going to be a game directed towards little kids and casual gamers, and had gameplay and features that reflected that in spades. In conclusion, Super Mario 3D World really is, in my opinion, the worst 3D Mario, or least best, compared to all the others. This one doesn't bring anything truly interesting or innovative to the franchise, and it brought down the reputation of the console that already had a foot in the grave to begin with. The level design is boring, the gameplay is mind-numbingly simple, the multiplayer is a chaotic mess, and it just overall feels like a lesser Mario game compared to the rest of them. And that is why Super Mario 3D World is the worst, or again, least best 3D Mario game. And with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, and I'll see you next time.